What's up, everyone? It's Savage AF here from Server 406. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. We've got lots of new and exciting things happening in Ebony World. We've got a K40 dropping soon. We've got new Plantagenet gear on the way. And we've got the Verona Castle, which is making everyone absolutely insane. I've got new videos of each coming soon. So if you're new here, hit that like button. Drop me a message. And so you don't miss any of my future content, hit that subscribe button now. Also, I'm starting to stream pretty regularly, so head on over to my Facebook page, Salty Dog Streaming. Give me a like and a follow. There'll be a link in the description. And as always, feel free to share with your gaming friends. So, today's video, we're going to talk about refining your generals and dragons. This is probably the most important way that you can buff your troop attack, defense, and HP is through your refining of your gear, and then ultimately your dragon once you get those unlocked. So what is refining? What is refining? Well, refining is the addition of stats to your general, gear, and dragon. It buffs each of the attributes: attack, defense, and HP. As you can see here on my General Arminius, there's two types of refines you can get. There's percent-based and there's number-based. Now, as you can see from my pick of my arch gear here, there's a max value of 25%. That is the percent value that you can get. That's the highest percent you can get on these guys. Unfortunately for me, I don't have any 25% yet. I haven't seen any 25%. I've got a bunch on my defense and other generals that are in the mid to high 20s. But, so yeah. Also, you can see here that I have, not on this one particular, but there's also a flat number value. So flat number values differ from buff type according to troop type. So when dealing with any refine, always the highest number is the best. So keep that in mind as you're going forward. So how do we refine? How do we refine our gear? So what you do is you're going to go in here and you're going to click on your piece of gear that you want to refine. You can see there's 4 stats here. Each piece of armor has a specific buff: attack, defense, or HP. Your weapon and your ring both buff troop attack. Your helmet and your legs both buff troop HP. And your chest and your boots buff troop defense. Now, as you can see on this axe, when I hit refine, it's going to roll 4 new attributes. Now, assuming I wanted to move forward with this, I could either hit confirm or cancel. For this video, I'm going to hit confirm. Boom. Confirm. So now I have 4 new stats for you right here. 4 new stats. The first refine is going to cost you 200 refine stones and 1 million gold for arch gear. Pretty sure it's lower for the lower gear you go. But be careful with your refine stones, because if you don't spend a lot of money, if you're just a weekend warrior as far as spending goes, they're very hard to come by. So make sure that you keep an eye on that. Now, say I was sitting here and I want to keep this refined and unlock higher tier rolls. Okay, so let's just say I want to keep this mounted troop attack. Okay, as you can see, each piece of gear has a lock beside it. If you click the lock, for a price in gems, it's going to lock that attribute in place. So I click it, boom, it's gold now. I've got a refine of 2k gems. So when I refine, it's going to cost me 2k gems to roll to another set of attributes. So when I refine, it's going to give me 4 total attributes, including the locked one that I had under mounted attack. So, depending on what buffs you want, my advice is going to be this. Stick to one main troop buff type. So, for example, if you had an archer bow, you would want to go all archer attack. So you'd want all 4 attributes to be archer attack with a high percent. So then what I would do here is I would accept, because we have a 20% cav attack, mounted attack, right? And I would lock that into place. So when I'm dealing with my gear, what I do is I roll 2 high attributes, and I move on to the next piece. So I've got 2, let's just say high attributes. They're not really high, but we're going to go with that. And then I'm going to go back to Arminius to my next piece, right? And we're going to get ready to refine him. What this does is this is going to get your gear and buffs some good stats until you're ready to push those final 2 slots for each piece. Remember, okay, with each lock refine, you have a smaller pool of possible stats. So each lock you get, it's going to become even more costly. So I would have a plan for that. I would sit here and say, okay, I'm going to get 2 apiece on each piece of my gear. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to roll that 3rd number on each piece of gear. Then later on down the road, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get that 4th piece. Okay? Now, if you're spending an ass ton of money on the game, it doesn't really matter, because you're just going to go in there, you're going to have plenty of gems, you're going to be able to do this. So it's not really a big deal. So now, okay, so here comes a question I get asked a lot. So, Savage, do I take percents or do I take flat numbers? I don't know. What do I do? Well, I'm going to tell you. Here's some unknown facts about refines. Okay? 1, percent have a higher impact of higher tier troops. So they're going to affect your T12, 13, and 14 more than a flat number would. Right? Okay? Flat numbers buff your lower tier troops better than percents. This is great for defense. This is great for all those millions of layers of little troops that you or lower tier troops that you've got, because that percent's not going to affect their base attack, defense, or HP more. Sorry, not really attack, because you're going to buff those with percents. But the flat numbers are going to buff those guys and make them more stout for your defense. Also, flat numbers can't be debuffed. That's right. All those nasty debuffs out there have 0 effect debuffing those lower tier troops that are now buffed by flat numbers. As I said, it makes it great for defense. So for me, I take percents on my attack generals, and on my main city defense general, I do percents on my weapon and on my ring, and I do a combination of percents and flats for everything that's defense and HP on my defensive wall general. Okay? So, to recap, refine, boom. Alright, we're going to confirm. We're going to lock one in place. We're going to refine again. We're going to confirm. We're going to lock in place. And we're going to move on to our next piece of gear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you refine general gear. It's pretty simple. It's costly. Have a plan. Work on one general at a time. Don't spread it all over 5 different generals. Get one really good general first. I recommend your defense general, especially if you're not a coiner pushing the K33 or higher early, it's just better to play defense all the way around. Uh, so now let's head on over and let's check out our dragon refining. Uh, Refining your dragon is going to further improve your troop stats. Besides the flat buff it provides your general, each dragon also provides a specific troop buff the higher you level it. So as you go in here and you click on Norway Ridge, okay, at level 6, it's going to give you new buffs. So at level 6, I've got minus 20% ground troop HP, minus 20% mounted troop HP, and plus 5% death turning wounded rate of troops when they're attacking. Once I get to level 8, it's going to give me a higher buff. Each dragon has this, as you can see. Dragon of Thebes, which is your defense dragon, in-city siege machine attack plus 30, in-city ground troop defense plus 30, hospital capacity plus 20, Night Dog, mounted troop attack plus 10%, ranged troop attack plus 10%. That's just going to get more as he levels. Over here in your pasture, got your Arch Dragon, Celtic Demon. As you can see, ranged troop attack plus 20, ground troop defense plus 20. And you've got your Fafnir. That's not what I wanted to do. Mounted troop attack plus 15, siege machine attack plus 15, march speed plus 25. So, you can go in here, and as I said, you can refine these bad boys. So each of these dragons, they can be refined just as your general gear. Just click refine, which would be the gem cultivate or the badge refine. So instead of gold, it's now going to cost this badge or gem. So you can roll that, and once you have the percents that you want, you can go in here and you can lock these also just as your general gear. However, each time you lock it, it's going to cost you 5 dragon crystals. As you can see, if I click 3, it's going to be 15, right? So you can acquire these dragon crystals from Bog, from the Wheel of Fortune, as well as the luxury treasure chest from the Gather Troop event. Those are good ways to get dragon crystals to refine. All this is going to help your base troop stats. This is the single most important thing that you can do for your troops, is to get good refines. Personally, I would not spend a whole lot of time refining and spending all those resources on anything other than dragon gear or above. Not even so much as dragon gear, because by the time if you're just now getting the dragon gear, most everybody else is going to have debuff gear. So you just want to save those materials until you have K33 Forge and you can get debuff gear, because as I said, it's very costly. So I would just play a role player until you can get to that position, support your teammates, reinforce, join rallies, things like that. So yeah, that's refining. That's how it's done. Pretty simple. So you're refined and ready for battle. I hope this video helped you. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Drop me a comment. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Also, please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. As always, stay safe and happy hunting.